Hello everybody. As you can see by all of these pitch black models, DX 11 has come to play in Space Engineers. I'm going to teach you how to create DX 11 physically based materials right now. I wanted to mention that their version of DX 11 physically based material rendering comes from Medieval Engineers. This is a ported rendering engine, and therefore it has some really weird idiosyncrasies. Like, for example, your ship will just keep turning blacker and blacker and blacker. Also, they have some serious problems with texture scaling, some serious problems with black boxes randomly popping up, and some other minor issues with lighting. I expect that these will all go away, so I'm not going to go into them in any great detail. Instead, I'm just going to teach you how to create the textures that you're going to need, so that your objects will look more like this and less like this, although my textures are not exactly ideal. So, in order to create these materials for DX 11, you're going to need to have three files: _cm, _ng, and _add. _alpha mask is optional. I haven't played around with it, but I think that it's fairly straightforward. Now, creating these files is the same as before. I generally use GIMP, but you can also use Photoshop. And it's very straightforward, but there are some gotchas, so let me go over them. _cm is your color file. Very straightforward. What you'd normally think of as the texture material, or the material texture, that's what your _cm file is. But your alpha channel is metalness. Metalness is a physically based rendering concept that, unless you already know what it means, you're probably not going to want to play around with. So, you're probably going to have an almost completely transparent texture. Your _cm is going to be transparent. _ng is your normal map. Now, I've heard that the green is inverted here. So if you notice that your normals seem to pop up when they should pop down, you might have to invert your green channel. I imagine that that won't be the case in the future because that is nonsense, but who knows. The alpha is gloss map. Now, a small amount of gloss goes quite a long ways, so in general, your normal map is also going to be almost entirely transparent. _add is the complicated one because every one of the channels means something else. Let's start at the back. The alpha channel custom color mask. This is a huge advantage. You no longer have to worry about whether or not your material is purple or whether or not it has that cut in half alpha thing. That's gone. Now it's the more more transparent this is, the less it can be recolored. So if your add is opaque, you can recolor it, and if not, you can't. This overrides, at the moment, emissive textures. So, if you have an emissive texture showing you, say, reactor state, you're going to want to be careful to make sure that your add texture does not have any alpha component, or else it will not tell the state of your reactor. It will just be whatever color you painted it. Blue is empty, leave it black. Green is emissive, so go ahead and make it glow. And red is ambient occlusion. Now, I think a lot of my audience probably has never played with ambient occlusion. It's a really powerful way to make your models look super realistic. But if you're not using it, you need to make sure that your red channel is 100% opaque. Your add texture should have a 100% full red channel. Otherwise, you will have a black model, because no light will reach it. This is something that really bit me. This down here is not referring to the red channel. It is referring to the blue channel. Okay? So, your red channel needs to be 100% full. You need to have a 100% red. Those are the gotchas for those textures. Once you've built those textures, you can make your model have a material on it pretty easily. I'm going to teach you how to do it using Harag's system in the next video, but if you're not using Harag's Blender system, then you're going to want to follow the instructions that you can find down here. I will link this in the description below. Thanks for your time.